Washington faced Philadelphia. If Washington won the game, they won the division. Every Giants fan was hoping for the Eagles to lose
It was sick.
so they can make the playoffs. But we're going to get to what the Eagles did later on in the show. But right now we're going to talk about the Washington football team's quarterback, Alex Smith. And I think this award pretty much has his name written all over it. The Comeback of the Year award is between two people, Big Ben and Alex Smith. And to me, if you want to get into statistics and you want to say all this, then probably it's Big Ben.
Yeah.
But I think this award is much deeper than that because Alex Smith, he had 17 surgeries. He was facing life or death with this injury. He had oh my gosh. I was watching a documentary today actually before the show. They were thinking about amputating his leg. That's how bad it was. And for him to recover from that gruesome of an injury, to come back and play, even just to come back and play and practice, not even start, but for him to be Trump the starter because Dwayne Haskins was miserably bad, Kyle Allen got hurt, and Alex Smith started, I think it's safe to say that the Washington football team does not make the playoffs if Alex Smith does not play at quarterback.
Yeah,
this season for the options that they had. Like, he's the one that held it down, held the offense down. He wasn't perfect by any stretch of the means, but we also have to take into account that this offense isn't extremely talented either.
Yeah, and Antonio Gibson dealt with injuries. Terry McLaurin dealt with injuries, so he wasn't even dealing with this offense at full strength, let alone what they are as a whole unit. And like you mentioned, it's not the comeback and have the best season award. It's the comeback player of the year. The award is about the comeback, not the season that you have. And I think any other season, this would be Ben Roethlisberger's award, and he definitely deserves a shout-out for what he's done. I was one of the biggest doubters of how he was going to come back. You're getting Tommy John surgery. That is a reconstructive arm surgery. For him to come back and have as good of a season that he's had, lead the Steelers or help lead the Steelers to as good of a season that they've had, he deserves a bunch of credit. But he even said it himself. This is Alex Smith's award. There's no question about it. They should name the award after him because there's – and you mentioned it, J.J. Watt tweeted it earlier in the season. He could have come back and not played a single snap all year, and he deserved the award because 17 surgeries. After his first surgery, he was dealing with a flesh-eating bacteria that they thought was going to get to his vital organs. Like you said, life or death situation. And to come back from that and not only be able to walk again, be able to run again, get back into football shape, come back, rejoin the team, and then win the starting job. And when he came back and he led them to that 3-1 record in the stretch where he was starting, that was the turning point of the season. And he really made this a different team than what they are. And yes, they're going to the playoffs because of their great defense. But without him, what option are they turning to? They had nobody else at quarterback, and he did well enough to get them to the playoffs. So all of that combined, it's a storybook tale. Like, you could not write a better script than what has happened to Alex Smith. So I think it's runaway. Like, this is the case in point comeback player of the year award.
I hate when you both stare at me. I get what you're saying, and it's hard. I feel like both guys deserve the award because when you look at the history of the award, Ryan Tannehill won it after his injury, but he had a phenomenal season. You look at Peyton Manning when he won it, came back after breaking his neck. He had a record-setting season with Denver. It's tricky because Big Ben, he got hurt. He comes back. They become we could all agree, AFC contender in the AFC. And then you got Alex Smith, who, like you said, had 17 surgeries. They was thinking about amputating his leg. And then he comes back. He even just gets on the field is a phenomenal thing. I honestly think either guy could get the award. I'm going to go take the 50-50 route. I think both guys deserve the award. I think for Big Ben, for his play on the field, the fact that he came back and he played well, people were doubting him. People were doubting Pittsburgh. They didn't think he would come back and still be good. And I think he did. He was good this year, and they're a great team. And I think for Alex Smith coming back after all those doubts, talking about amputating his leg, which sounds crazy. I didn't even know that. He should get the award, too. And I wouldn't be mad at whoever wins the award, so I'm going to play the 50-50 card.
You're canceled for your statement. No, in all honesty, I would be upset if he didn't win the award. I'm not gonna lie. If Big Ben won it, I would be upset because I think he deserves it. I watched the documentary. I'm not gonna lie. During Center Park, I did tear up a little bit Because I don't think I teared up because of what was happening. I think I teared up because of the sound score that was playing behind what was happening. Music has such an emotional effect on me. So when we talk about, when I was watching the documentary, and in it, there was a picture of what Alex Smith went through in his leg, where you basically just saw the bone. You just saw the bone. Like his flesh, his skin around his bone wasn't even there. It looked like a bear had bitten off his skin, and you just saw the bone. And they had to take basically, like, I think it was skin or cells from other parts of his body to basically clear that up and make that like his leg again. It's completely insane. And I was talking to my dad about it yesterday. For a guy to get that surgery and then be like, yeah, I'm going to go play football again, where the same thing can happen again, or you can get hurt again. And he said that he wanted to do it because he wanted like to show his kids that it was like, anything is possible. And if you set your mind to it, you can do it. But just him coming back from that injury, I think he deserves this award 100%. Alex Smith is one of my favorite players. I liked him in Kansas City.
Oh, I see where this is going.
And it's not even like he came back and he played terrible. He came back and legitimately led this team to a playoff spot. And it wasn't an easy road. It's not like they ran away with the division. He had to come in and grind it out against the Giants, who turned things around at the right time, the Cowboys, who made a late run. It came down to week 17 having to get a win. And so if it wasn't for him, I don't think they're in the same position.
And I'll talk about this too. We'll talk about Washington and Tampa Bay in the preview when we do the show. But that's a bad matchup for Tampa Bay. That's a bad matchup.
Oh, your boys might get bounced?
They won't get bounced. They'll win that game. Then they face Green Bay if they win. And then they'll beat Green Bay. They'll pummel Green Bay, and then they'll be in the NFC Championship. And depending on that matchup, they'll go to Super Bowl, and then they'll win.
We have this on recording.
I know.
I think that game, and again, we'll talk about it next
episode.
episode.
If they face Green Bay, they'll pummel them.
I think that game, the Buccaneers and the Washington football team, is going to be much closer than people think it's going to be. That's my personal opinion on it. I think people have been sleeping on the Washington football team all season long. That defense is a scary unit. And if anybody's going to beat them, it's the Buccaneers. But we've known the Buccaneers all season long. They're like Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what they're going to come out as. I think they're going to have a great postseason run just because I think Tom Brady is firing on all cylinders. But that Washington football team, man, I would not want to see them.
And before we end off this segment, I just want to, this is not a paid promo. This is not no promotion. But if you guys are watching or you're listening and you do not have ESPN Plus, get the free trial or get it for like a week.
It's only $5 a month.
Yeah. Get it and watch that Alex Smith documentary. It's called Project 11. Maybe you can find it on YouTube or online or whatever I'm not telling you to pirate it. You can find it online, but it's called Project 11, and it's a great documentary, really well made. I think if you think about getting something like ESPN Plus, that would be the reason to get it for a little while just to watch that, because I think it's that great of a documentary.